I want to tell you about the case of Miss Oaklee Mae Snow. Oaklee was reported missing on January 19, 2023, in Cromwell, Oklahoma by her biological father. She was possibly last seen on February 9, 2023, in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we'll get into those particulars in a second. Oaklee is 2 years old. She's about 2 feet 2 inches tall and weighs 35 pounds. She has brown hair and blue eyes. She may be anywhere from Oklahoma, Indiana, North Carolina, or Colorado. The Indianapolis Star released this timeline based on police reports and court records. On November 7, 2022, the District Court in Oklahoma County, Oklahoma, files for a warrant of arrest for Rowan Waters on charges of child abuse. Police allege Waters struck Oaklee in the face, causing trauma to her mouth and lips. Now, Rowan Waters is the boyfriend of Oaklee's biological mom, Madison Marshall. On January 19, 2023, Oaklee's father, Zachary Snow, reports that the 2-year-old and her 7-month-old brother, Colton, were taken by their mother, Madison Marshall, from his home in Cromwell, Oklahoma. He told the Seminole County Sheriff's Office that Marshall and Waters took the children without authorization and likely fled to Indiana, where Waters has family. After learning of the abduction, the Oaklee County Sheriff's Office entered the children into the National Crime Information Center database as missing. The exact date isn't known, but sometime in late January or early February, Waters, Marshall, Oaklee, and Colton arrive in Indianapolis. Waters' mother allows them to stay in a home she owns on Albany Street, near the intersection of East Troy and Madison Avenues, south of downtown Indianapolis. She bought them baby formula and supplies to assist with caring for the kids. During this time, Waters' sister visits the home and sees bruising on Oaklee's legs. The sister confronts the couple, who get angry and ask her to leave. On February 9th, Waters' mother gets a call from a guy named Chad telling her that Waters and Marshall left Colton alone with him, asking her to come get the baby. She arrives and then calls Waters' sister to care for the child. When asked why they left the baby alone, Waters tells his sister it's because Oaklee hurt her head bouncing on a ball and needed emergency care. The sister saw Waters and Marshall return to the house as she was leaving. She did not see Oaklee and did not try to speak with the couple. Later that night, the sister reports to the Department of Children's Services that Waters and Marshall left Colton alone at the home because they needed to take Oaklee to the hospital. Witnesses later tell police they saw the couple leaving the house with what looked like a child wrapped in a blanket, and that the child did not appear to be moving, talking, or crying. Law enforcement in Oklahoma report that the house that Colton was left in was a known crack house. On March 3rd, the Greenwood Village Police Department in Colorado arrests Waters on an outstanding warrant after responding to a complaint about occupants of a Best Western hotel. Investigators learned Marshall was staying at the hotel but was not there when police arrived. There were no signs that children were ever at the hotel. Waters told investigators he, Marshall, and the 2 children left Oklahoma in his blue Dodge Durango and traveled to a trap house in Indianapolis to use drugs. He said they abandoned Colton at the house in Indianapolis before leaving for Colorado. His sister picked up the infant and turned him over to the Department of Children's Services. Waters told investigators he was unable or unwilling to tell police Oaklee's location. During jail calls to his mother, Waters said he helped Marshall with dropping Oaklee off somewhere, but did not provide specific details. Madison Marshall showed up at the home of Waters' sister asking to stay. The sister said she could, but only if Marshall told her where Oaklee could be found. Marshall left the home on foot instead. The sister hadn't seen or heard from her since. In the evening of March 6th, investigators reach out to the Indianapolis FBI office, and they request assistance finding Oaklee, Colton, and Marshall. After confirming Colton's whereabouts with the Department of Child Services, they reach out to the Indianapolis Police Department's Missing Persons Unit for assistance. Colton's father, DCS, told investigators had taken custody of Colton and likely returned to Oklahoma. On March 7th, Indianapolis police serve a search warrant at the house on Albany Street in Indianapolis. It's unknown what, if anything, was found during that search. On March 8th, shortly after 3 p.m., Indianapolis police post an alert seeking help from the public finding Oaklee. They report the toddler may be in the Indianapolis area. On March 16th, a warrant is issued out of Marion County, Indiana, for Marshall's arrest on neglect of dependent charges. And that stems from leaving Colton alone, well, not alone, but with the people at the trap house. On March 23rd, Marshall is arrested in Harnett County, North Carolina, after the sheriff's office received an anonymous tip. Marshall is being held on an $80,000 bond. Oaklee's whereabouts remain unknown. Neither Waters or Marshall are talking. Marshall did waive extradition and she will be returned to Indianapolis. Waters, on the other hand, is fighting extradition in Colorado. Law enforcement did an update that 7-month-old Colton is with his father Zachary and is doing well. Zachary Snow, on the other hand, is fighting daily on multiple social media platforms, trying to get his daughter's face out there and asking anyone with any information to contact law enforcement. I don't typically share Cash Apps or GoFundMes, but this one is from a vetted source. Zachary is missing work daily as he's trying to get his daughter's face and name out there. They're also planning a trip to Indianapolis to do a search and spread flyers. Marshall still isn't speaking. Her father posted on Facebook the other day that she's still reaching out to him in an attempt to get money to put on her commissary. He said, "It's simple for me. Tell us where Oaklee is and I'll see what I can do." He said once he says something along those lines, she just goes silent. Since Oaklee could be anywhere from Indiana to Colorado to Oklahoma to even North Carolina, the base of operations for family and friends seems to be out of Indianapolis, since that's the last location she was seen. And where the crime was committed, that's where she'll be extradited back to. The crime of leaving Colton, that is. Family and friends are spreading this flyer out, asking people to reach out to local media, and if they have any tips, of course, to call them in. Let's do whatever we can to get answers and justice for Oaklee. Thanks, you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Love, love.